Welcome, everybody, to North Atlantic Conference tournament time, where these two teams' stories couldn't be any more different in this history. One team searches for their sixth consecutive title, while the other searches for their first title since 2004. We've got Husson versus Thomas. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. And Jacob, this is one exciting game.
Oh my gosh, I could not be more pumped for this. Two teams, they won yesterday. They won convincingly yesterday. Two teams with their aces on the bump. Two teams, lineups are coming in scorching hot. They played a good series last time out against these two teams when they were back here. It's just another one, especially with the championship on the line. It's just absolute electric atmosphere today. Let's hope the rain holds off until after tonight. And then we can celebrate. We can have a party.
The rain should hold off. It is not the best day for baseball, but a day for baseball nonetheless. We have cloudy skies. It's 49 degrees, 9-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 21. We'll see how the wind plays an account in this matchup. But Husson is not the home team in this matchup. They are the away team. It is Thomas as the home team. So to start things off, it's Ouellette on the mound, and it'll be Warren, Rendell, and Curtis to start things off for these Eagles.
Yeah, just a very dangerous part of the lineup. These guys saw Jared Ouellette a couple weeks ago when Thomas came here to have their series, and they hit him around pretty well. So, and especially with these three coming in scorching hot, I saw Jackson Curtis hit a ball off the light pole yesterday in right center field, which is an absolute tank, a big old bridge ball. It's going to be great. I'm excited to be in here with you, and we're going to have a banger of a time, fella.
Oh, yeah, we are. Curtis in his matchup yesterday against Cobleskill hit one in deep right center off the light pole. You could tell just by the sound of the bat that one was going way out of here, and that's what you expect out of Jackson Curtis anyways. Here's the first pitch, and that one is right down the middle for strike one to start things off for Ouellette.
Yeah, and warm-ups, we saw a good old fastball slider break, change-up mix from Ouellette. We'll see him use all three pitches too effectively.
And Akira Warren is already in an 0-2 hole. The speedster, if he gets on base, you guarantee it, he's going to be a threat as a base runner. That one just outside for ball one.
Another good spot there from Ouellette. Good challenge pitch there, 0-2. Just missed the corner, but maybe down the line we'll get that call later on.
And that one again outside evens the count up at 2. These Terriers with a team ERA of 8.28 going to have to be on their A game in this matchup against a loaded lineup of these Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw it yesterday with the Eagles against Cobleskill. Cobleskill kept making mistake pitches, and the Eagles capitalized on those mistake pitches. Especially with a hot lineup like this, you don't really want to make those mistake pitches.
And that's ball 4. Akira Warren takes first base. And that is a good start for these Eagles. Get that leadoff man on first. Immediately sets the tempo in this matchup. And now it's Cam Rendell up to the plate.
Yeah, and another thing we mention every time we're on a broadcast here is that this Eagles team is a very patient lineup. They're a pesky lineup. They're a patient lineup. They walked a lot over the season, over almost 200 times in the regular season with just walking. And Akira Warren, big factor in that in the top of this Eagles order.
And no one more patient than Mr. Cam Rendell at that plate. Has drawn 17 walks so far this season. Swings and misses at that one. And he is behind 0-2. Akira Warren with a lead at first. Ouellette try to tag him up. With Warren's speed, easily gets back to first. The 0-2. Rendell sends that one sky high in foul ball territory. Fights that one off to stay alive at the plate.
One thing that we do have to mention, Patrick Temby has an absolute cannon from behind the plate. We've seen him throw out guys left, right, and center throughout the entire season. And right now, the Eagles team, they like to steal bases. You want to be perfect in your opportunities to steal bases, because Temby will throw you out, and he does it all the time.
We're going to see a lot of throwing from Temby in this matchup. Like you mentioned, Jacob, these Eagles like to steal bases, so we'll see how his arm fares today. Here's a pitch. That one just outside for ball number 1. And Rendell gets a load of that one, sent into right field for the first out. Catch made by Seymour. And that is the first out of the ball game.
Yeah, just a little bit off the end of the bat there, kind of reached for it. But it's a good sign to get contact here early, especially with a kind of colder weather. Yesterday was the mid-60s. Today it's in the mid-40s. So definitely a change in weather aspect. But to see contact here early is a good sign for the Eagles.
Made contact, good contact, just off the end of the barrel into right field. Willette will try to tag Warren again, can't get that one to go. Here's the pitch to Jackson Curtis. That's in there for strike number 1.
Three at-bats here to start the game. 3 first pitch strikes. Seeing Willette challenge this top of the Eagles order early on, which is a great sign for Thomas.
Jackson Curtis chops that one foul. Yesterday I was at the Thomas Leslie game where Thomas won by over 5 runs. And after the game, Aaron Young's father jumped up with joy once they got that final out, going, "We're finally not in the loser's bracket. We're finally not in the loser's bracket." That's how much this tournament means to these fans and these parents. Just the overall excitement and joy.
Yeah, even with these seniors haven't been able to get into the dance yet. It's always been the Eagles. There's been a dynasty brewing here for the Eagles. For these seniors trying to get into the dance, it's always got to be weighing on them throughout the season.
And this is one of the most important games for these seniors, trying to go out with a bang. The 1-2 pitch. That one's low, and Warren is heading for second. Throw not in time. And that's what Akira Warren does. He sees those wild pitches. He's going. And with his speed, it is so hard to throw him out.
Yeah, great read there from Warren. Saw the ball in the dirt, and he thought that he could get there. He'd get to the bag, got to the bag. Good aggressive base running here early, trying to set up a runner in scoring position for 3, 4, and 5.
Now Jackson Curtis has a runner in scoring position. This is where he is lethal. That ball way outside makes it a full count. Warren with a sizable lead at second. The payoff pitch. Low, and Jackson Curtis takes first on a walk.
Now that's 3 at-bats here for Willette, where he got ahead 0-2, and then he fell behind in the count. So let's see what the adjustment is coming into a very dangerous 4, 5, and 6 with 2 runners on here.
Now it is Matt Holmes up at the plate, and like you mentioned, Jacob, he gets ahead in the count and then starts to lose his command when he is ahead. Here's the pitch. That one right down the middle, strike one. Well, looking back at Warren, that one right down the middle for strike two, and he is yet again ahead in the count. We'll see if he can finally finish off for that strike three. The pitch. Swing and a miss, and Willett collects his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Beautiful changeup there. Nice little piece of soft salad, getting the swing over top of it from Holmes. Now he's got 2 outs. He can kind of work comfortably here with 2 outs. You can really, any balls getting hit to one of your teammates in the field, it's going to be an out. So you can pitch a little more comfortably now instead of having 2 outs instead of having 1.
Out comes Hunter Curtis, the brother of Jackson, takes ball 1. The 1-0 makes it 1-1. And Hunter Curtis this season batting almost 300 with a double and a couple home runs, 22 RBIs to go along with it. He was also named Rookie of the Year back in 2023. Just as dangerous as his brother yesterday against Cobleskill. He did go 1 of 4 with a walk. But when he's on his A game, look out.
Also, a big leader out in the outfield defensively for the Eagles. He's running everything down from left to right.
And that evens the count up at 2. Hunter doesn't like that call. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that'll end the top of the first inning. Willett with back-to-back strikeouts. And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we are due up for the bottom first inning. It is Dipner to lead things off, followed by Morton and Meza, with Matt Wallingford out on the mound. And This guy with a sub-1.8 ERA this season. He has been the ace for these Eagles throughout his tenure.
Yeah, Wallingford, absolute dog in the top of this Eagles rotation. He's been the horse in at the top. He's been the guy you can rely on. Good fastball, slider, changeup, curveball mix. Very filthy on the mound, and we'll continue to see that here today.
That one runs inside for ball 2. And the accolades speak for themselves when talking about Matt Wallingford. He was pitcher of the year last season, D3 baseball first team. He is incredible. This season, he's missed a couple weeks with injury, but in those 5 games started, 7 appearances, he has been utterly dominant. Here's the payoff pitch from Wallingford. That one swung on, headed into right field, and under it to make the grab is the second baseman, Marshall.
Fantastic play out there. Avoiding collision. That's the triangle of no man's land out there, where it's in the middle of the first baseman, second baseman, right fielder. Marshall had it from the jump, had a good beat off the jump, made the play. Avoided collision, which is always something you want to see. Made a nice play there.
Ended up losing his hat when tracking down that ball.
I mean, if you don't lose your lid, did you really make the play?
Exactly. And now up steps Elijah Martin, the senior for these Terriers.
Talk about a dog.
Oh, yeah. 400 batting average. Has 54 hits on the year. 7 doubles, 3 triples. He is insane. That one swings and misses for strike number 2.
Just above a 1,000 OPS, which is an outstanding number at the college level. No matter what level of the college level you're at, 1,000 OPS is crazy.
He has gotten better and better as the years have gone on. And this is one matchup we have been begging to see. Morton versus Wallingford. The 2-2. One low. No, they're calling it strike 3.
Oh, beautiful pair of shoes. There's the hammer breaking ball that we talked about at the beginning. Nice, beautiful pair of shoes there. Just adds up to the strikeout total for Wallingford on the season.
And just like that, it is 2 quick outs for these Terriers. Tony Meza up to the plate, the graduate student out of Los Angeles, California, named North Atlantic Conference East first team in 2023 and 2024. He sends that one foul. Jackson Curtis tried to get over there, not enough speed to make that play. But Meza against Leslie yesterday, 2 of 3 with 2 RBIs, 2 walks, and a run scored.
One of the more dangerous guys that you want to see late in game. And we saw it yesterday against Leslie. He had a good day at the plate. He's had a good day at the plate all season.
And he sends that one into foul territory. Curtis trying to make a play. And under it was Marshall. Dove to try and make that grab. Could not do it. Man, Marshall came in from second all the way into right field foul territory and almost made the diving catch.
I think that was further out into right field than the first one. But still, a heck of an effort there from Marshall. Again, losing his lid again.
And we're going to expect that out of these two teams. Trying their hardest to make these plays and send their respectful team into the North Atlantic Conference Championship. pouring their heart and soul. That's what you want out of these two teams. The 1-2 from Wallingford. That one's sent into center field, and under it to make that grab is Hunter Curtis. And that is 3 quick outs for these Terriers. And due up in the top second inning is Tanner Evans, Ryan Remetta, and Colin Marshall. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. If you're just joining us, I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. We are knotted up at 0, and it has been a defensive duel so far. No hits collected for either team. Right now, Tanner Evans steps up to the plate. And that pitch upstairs, ball 1.
Yeah, we saw 2 solid pitching innings there from Ouellette and Wallingford, both picking up a couple punch outs.
Ouellette in the first inning had a couple strikeouts and 2 walks. Evans sends that one back. Makes it count 1-2. Tanner Evans, the senior out of Greenbush, Maine, the captain on this Eagles roster. He is the vocal leader for these Eagles.
Yeah, he's been a very good piece in the top. For the majority of the season was at the top of the order. We saw the flip-flop with him and Rendell heading into the playoffs here, trying to spark something in the bottom half of the lineup.
That one too high yet again, makes it count full. And they call him Playoff Evans for a reason. Here's the 3-2. And Tanner Evans, to start things off in this top second inning, is a walk. And just like the first inning, we saw Akira Warren lead things off with a walk, and now it's Tanner Evans. Eagles stranded 2 runners in that first inning. So they look to capture a little bit of momentum and flip things around in this top second. Remetta shows bunt, pulls it back. And this is situational hitting for these Eagles. Showing bunt with that runner on first, no outs. Shows bunt again, able to get it. That one's blooped over to Ouellette. Gets the out at second, throw to first, not in time. And that'll be a fielder's choice for Remetta.
Right there, he kind of wanted to get the bunt a little bit more up the first baseline. He had the third baseman Meza kind of pretty much even with the pitcher. You had the first baseman covering over there in Cagnina. You really want to try and get that one a little bit up the line a little more instead of kind of right back towards the pitcher.
The 1-0 to Marshall. Right down the middle for strike number 1. Eagles again with that runner on first, this time with 1 out. Colin Marshall yesterday against Cobleskill went 0 for 3 with a couple walks. Sends that one into deep left center, and what a tremendous grab made by Haynes. Sends Remetta back over to first. Odell Beckham Jr. in the outfield on that grab.
Yeah, that was one that had trouble written all over it. Haynes made the nice play, got a good jump off the bat.
That's one of those where if he isn't there to make that grab, it would have been dangerous to these Terriers. Instead, it is now 2 outs for these Eagles. Keegan Sear up to the plate. It is 1-1. The junior out of Bangor, the local guy, also dangerous in the playoffs just 2 years ago. He was named North Atlantic Conference Tournament MVP, had himself a tremendous run. And he is ahead 2-1.
Another tough at bat here in the bottom of half of the Eagles order. 1 through 9, very dangerous no matter where you are in the order for the Eagles.
Keegan Sear in a hitter's count now with the count 3-1. We have a time by the ref. The umpire checks over to the Thomas sideline.
Got a 3-umpire crew here for the playoffs.
And we're going to continue play now. So 3-1 with 2 outs for Keegan Sear, runner on first. Sends that one deep into left field. And under it to make the grab is Haynes. So the Eagles strand another runner in the top second inning. And it is still a 0-0 game heading into the bottom of the second. Haynes in left field with 2 tremendous grabs. And we will be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone. For the bottom of the second inning, Haynes is due up, and we have a goose egg game. It is a pitcher's duel so far. Wallingford in the first inning with that strikeout. And if Wallingford can keep pounding the zone and avoid free passes, Husson can control the tempo defensively. That one in there, strike two. The 1-2 from Wallingford. That one blooped over to Jackson Curtis, and he'll get out number one with ease. And that is a great start for these Eagles defensively here in the bottom second inning. And now up steps Cagnina Jr., the first baseman for these Terriers.
Cagnino, one of the more dangerous hitters, was empowering hitters in the box here. Heading into the playoffs, he was one of the guys to watch, especially on this Thomas side.
Cagnina batting .345 on the year. He has 9 doubles, a triple, and a couple home runs. He was named North Atlantic Conference East first team last season. And he sends that one over to Keegan Sear. Throw in time for out number 2.
Sure-handed shortstop over there, Keegan Sear. Any one of those balls that are hit right to him, you're very confident he will field it up, make the play.
Now it's Samuel Kablinski, the 6'5" senior. And this is another one of those dogs on the Terriers lineup, batting almost .380 on the year. Yesterday against Leslie went 2 of 5 with a couple RBIs. The 1-1 from Wallingford, right down the middle, strike number 2.
Wallingford being very efficient on the mound here, firing in first pitch strikes, being ahead, being competitive.
Swing and a miss from Kablinski, and Matt Wallingford is in a rhythm so far. Collects strikeout number 2, and we are still knotted up at nothing. He is so good, Jacob.
So good.
And we'll be right back for some top 3 action on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. It's the top of the lineup for these Eagles. Due up, Akira Warren walked in the first inning, and Willett and Wallingford have showcased dominance early on. We are deadlocked at 0. Neither team with a hit so far. And this is the time for these Eagles to be aggressive at the plate, get some hits, start a little rally. It's also important to showcase patience at the plate in a game like this.
Yeah, you want to be fundamental at the plate here. You don't want to be swinging for the fences. You don't want to try and hit a ball into Canada or whatever. You don't want to try and make new planets or whatever. You want to just move the runners up. Go base to base to start here. You're in the third inning. You're not desperate to try and score here early.
And Warren sends that one into right field. Under it to make the grab is Seymour. And these outfielders for the Terriers flashing their leathers so far. Great grab over there by Seymour. Haynes made a great grab in the second inning. They are going to be critical when facing this Eagles roster. First pitch outside to Cam Rendell. Rendell flew out to Seymour his last time up. And he sends that one as tall as the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Under it to make the grab is Haynes, and he can't hold on to it. Falls out of his glove. That'll be an error by Haynes. And we just mentioned it, Jacob. These outfielders have to be on their A game when facing this Eagles roster. And that is already an error for the Terriers.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially as the great Alex Cora would say, you don't want to give teams more than 27 outs. You want to be able to get in, get out, get back to the plate here. And now you're facing 3, 4, and 5 who are pretty much on a very hot stretch coming into this one.
Now up steps Jackson Curtis.
I know he wants to party.
Oh, he definitely wants to party. And he sends that one into center field. And this time the out is made, this time by Dipner. Now up steps Matt Holmes, who struck out against Willett in the first inning. Swings and misses on the first pitch. And it's only a matter of time before these Eagles start to get aggressive on the base paths.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as the game's winding down here. Try and manufacture some runs here.
And how about the pitching from Willett so far? Couple strikeouts, no hits allowed.
It's worked around some traffic.
He has given up 3 walks so far. But the most important stat line is that no hits.
No hits, no runs. Even though it's self-induced traffic, he's buckled down and he's gotten out of it.
And that one, chopped back foul, evens the count at 2.
Big pitch here early on in the contest. I know we're only in the third inning, but this is arguably one of the bigger pitches of the at-bat.
The 2-2. And that one's outside. makes the count full. And this is one big pitch for both teams.
Rendell will be on the move here. 3-2, 2 outs.
Payoff pitch. Swings and misses. Willett collects his third strikeout of the afternoon, and the Eagles strand another runner. And we are headed to some bottom three action with Tembe due up, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. We are here for the bottom three inning, and it is the bottom of the lineup for these Terriers. Wallingford has been dominant so far. 2 strikeouts through 2 innings. No hits allowed, no runs, no walks. And that's ball 2, and it's not often we see Wallingford behind 2-0. And that one's grounded up the middle. Under it is Marshall, can't get a throw off. Bounces into Keegan Sear. And just like that, the Terriers have a man on first.
Yeah, that was going to be a tough play for Marshall either way. But saves the ball from going into the outfield. It's always something you want to see.
Bartlett shows bunt. Jacob was ready to catch that if it went into the window.
Yeah, it was going to have to go through a lot of... It's going to have to go through the netting and then the window. Then we'd have glass all over the place.
One of these days, it's going to go over the netting and hit this window. I can feel it.
I
hope today's the day.
I thought yesterday when Sam Miller had the window all the way open and it was really nice out, and it was destined to come at them. Never did.
One of these days, we're going to get it. Bartlett shows bunt. Wallingford pounds the zone for strike 2. And that one upstairs, ball number 1.
Good waste pitch there from Wallingford. Being ahead in the count, he can really play with whatever he wants to do here.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Matt Wallingford. These Terriers cannot let him get hot. They got to attack him early. Try to send him out of this game. Because if you take out Matt Wallingford early, it is smooth sailing after that. That one upstairs, ball 1.
Right now, if you're Seymour, you really want to get something in play. Try and flip it to the top of the lineup here.
Wallingford again behind 2-0. Sends that one foul.
Temby dancing over there at first. Might see him take off here at some point in the at-bat.
Not much of a sizable lead for him. Now he's dancing, sending that one into right field, and under it to make that grab is Matt Holmes. And we are back up to the top of the order for these Terriers with Dipner returning to the plate.
Flew out in foul territory in the first. Nice play from Colin Marshall to range from second into the foul territory to make the play.
Wallingford right down the middle, strike one. Showing his tremendous command early on. Checks over at first. Throw not in time for Temby. That one swung on, heading into foul territory in right field. And under it to make the grab is Matt Holmes to end the third inning.
Fantastic play there from Matt Holmes. You had two of the three lids on the turf there from Marshall and Holmes. You only needed Jackson Curtis's lid, and then you would have gone 3 for 3.
We're seeing a lot of hats flying off.
A lot of lids flying.
Is it due to their speed running, or is it the wind?
I think it's because they're really fast, my friend.
They are like the Flash out there.
They're like the Flash.
We'll be right back for some top four action. Don't go anywhere, folks. Welcome back, where we are still in a deadlock at 0. Hunter Curtis up to the plate, struck out in the first inning. And how about the defensive game plan from both sides in this matchup, Jacob?
Yeah, it's been really good. The pitching has been phenomenal. You really want to. Both pitchers, Willett and Wallingford, have been getting ahead in the counts early, as we see a first pitch strike there. But both pitchers have been getting ahead early. They've been pitching around the zone. They've been competitive in the zone. They've limited traffic on the base paths. So it's a recipe for success.
Hasn't been any real threat on the base paths for either side, really. Here's the 1-1. That one just in there for strike 2. Now Hunter Curtis behind 1-2. That one just upstairs, evens the count at 2. And this feels like one of those games where that one run can be the only run in this matchup. And that is a strikeout for Willette. Hunter strikes out looking. And that is strikeout number 4 for Willette. And now up steps to the plate is Tanner Evans, walked in his first appearance.
Yeah, fastball there had a little extra hair on it, painted the corner, picked up a pair of shoes there for the closet.
And that one showed some wicked movement in their strike 2. Or strike number 1, sorry. The 1-1. Shows off the movement again. This time it runs inside for ball 2. Evans chops that one foul, evens the count at 2. And that one outside makes it a full count for Tanner Evans.
Willette thought he had that one. Went with the walk around the mound a little bit, clear his head.
And that is another walk for Tanner Evans. Both teams starting to be vocal in their respective dugouts. Ryan Remetta now up, the former quarterback for these Eagles.
And former pitcher.
And former pitcher, yeah.
He was doing it all before he went behind the plate and started throwing people out.
Incredible athlete. Guarantee you, if he gets into golf, birdie, birdie, birdie every time.
He'd be challenging Bryson DeChambeau for the U.S. Open.
Pitch down the middle. Tanner Evans gets to second safely. And now a runner in scoring position for Ryan Remetta. Eagles finally with that runner in scoring position for the first time since the first inning. Let's pitch. Ryan swings at that one, and that's fouled off. Very important at bat here. Anything into the outfield for a base hit can score a run.
Tried a little front door breaking ball there. Couldn't get it to clip.
Tanner Evans with a sizable lead over at second. Checks back on him. That throw outside. 2-2 count for number 22 out there on the mound.
You want to see if you can try and poke one the other way here.
And that is a pitch clock violation. Now it's a full count. Big pitch for Remetta and Willette. And that is a strikeout. Remetta caught looking. That is number 5 on the day for Willette. And now it is 2 outs for these Eagles, and it's Colin Marshall up to the plate. A missed opportunity for Remetta. Thought that was going to be a ball, but it was in the zone for strike number 3.
Yeah, Willette's been getting that pit. He's been consistently hitting that outside corner, and the umpire's giving it to him behind the plate. He's looked good on the mound, picks up his 5th one of the day.
And Marshall makes contact with that one, sends it into right field, sliding, and that is a base hit for Marshall in third. And the umpire says, no, it's fouled. The crowd was going crazy. They started celebrating. Colin Marshall was rounding the bases. Everyone thought that was fair. And the umpire called it foul last second. Well, okay, Jacob. Now it's 1-1.
Yeah, good swing there from Marshall. Little front door soft salad, never hurt nobody.
Awesome off-speed pitch there from Willette. Makes it 1-2. That was so odd. Why did the umpire call that foul so late?
I mean, from our vantage point, it looked like Seymour picked it up in right field, and then it was signaled foul. Maybe that's just when I picked it up. He might have called it right off the rip.
Here's the 1-2. And Colin Marshall takes ball 2. These Terriers, the parents are not liking that call. They thought it was a strikeout.
It's starting to get a little chippy, my friend.
Both fans very vocal here at the wink-in. Here's that pitch. Makes the count full. No! Colin Marshall doesn't like that call. And that is another strikeout for Willette.
3 pairs of shoes on the inning. Man, 3 punchies.
Now it's 6 strikeouts for Willette.
Well, let's look.
And the fan in front of us just gave a face of, what was that call?
Well, let's look very solid on the bump for the Terriers.
He's been incredible, but these umpires, they're giving Willette a ton of calls here in his favor.
Well, let's do the bottom of the 4th.
Now the bottom of action. After a wacky turn of events in the top 4th, we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, for some bottom 4 action. We are still knotted up at 0 as Morton shows bunt, pulls it back. It's ball 1.
Martin cuts through that one.
And Morton sends that one back for strike number 2. Wallingford upstairs makes it a full count.
I feel like John Kruk just missing pitches in my book here. Shout out John Kruk.
And Morton sends that one deep into left field. And under it to make the grab is Akira Warren. Covered a lot of ground to make that catch. And that is out number 1. Man, what a hit by Morton. Unfortunate he had to deal with this speedster out there in left field. And now it's Meza up to the plate. And Meza sends that one into center field. That goes down for a base hit, rounding first, and he'll stay at first. That'll go down as a single from Meza.
Second hit on the day for the Terriers. Looking to try and get something up on the scoreboard here in the bottom half of the 4th with 4, 5, and 6 due up. For 3 very dangerous hitters.
And that is chopped over to Jackson Curtis for out number 2. Meza takes second. Now the Terriers have a runner in scoring position. For the first time all game. Cagnina Jr. grounded out to Keegan Sear his last time up. Wallingford finds the zone, evens the count at 1. And this is an important at-bat for these Terriers, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you got the middle of your order due up here. With 2 outs, you want to try and get one on the scoreboard.
And that one fouled off down the third base line.
Cagnina, a very dangerous hitter, can hit the ball with power to all fields, which is something you don't normally see from the left-handed side.
Wallingford's pitch low for ball number 2. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Runner on second for Cagnina Jr.
Meta being a workhorse behind the plate, keeping everything in front of him, leaving that runner at second.
And that one's chopped over to Curtis. Curtis tosses it over to Wallingford, and that'll end the bottom 4th inning. Both teams still without a run through 4 innings. Still deadlocked at 0. And we'll be right back for the top of the 5th inning, where it's Keegan Sear, Akira Warren, and Cam Rendell for the Eagles. Welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network, where we have some top fifth action. Let's first pitch in the zone, strike one. And the defensive game plan from both teams have worked to perfection so far. Willette throwing some off-speed pitches, throwing outside of the zone, trying to get batters to chase. He's finding the low corner of the zone to perfection so far. And his 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Keegan Sear. Strikeout number 7 on the afternoon for Willette. Man, has he been on his A game.
Yeah, A game is an understatement. He has been phenomenal. Outside of the 3 walks he's given up, the traffic has been very limited. He's given up no runs. He's punched out 7. He's looking fantastic on the mound for the Terriers.
And Warren chops that one over to third. And that is out number 2 for the Eagles.
I think Mesa just threw that ball 114 across the diamond. It was a laser beam over there.
He has a powerful arm over at third. And Rendell chops that one back foul. That one upstairs, ball 1. Cameron Dell, 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to right field in the first inning, and then there's that error made by Haynes in left field. In the third inning, Willette showing off some movement there. Can't find the zone, makes it a 2-1 count for these Terriers. And Rendell sends that one sky high into left field, and that is fouled. Evens the count up at 2.
Good effort there from Haynes and the 2 left side infielders there. And just a little bit out of reach. And Rendell gets to see another pitch.
The 2-2. That one low makes the count 3-2. And we're seeing some action with the wind so far. You look at the trees and looks like the wind is howling out there.
Flag in center field is also.
And that's strikeout number 8 for Willette. Caught Rendell looking. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings for Willette. Unbelievable.
He looks absolutely fantastic. I know we mentioned it last half inning, but just outstanding stuff with a trip to the dance on the line.
Not Afraid is playing by Eminem, and it's safe to say Willette is not afraid to go up against the heavy hitters of Husson. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome for some bottom five action. 0-0 ball game, something that no one really expected up in this booth. We knew it was going to be a low-scoring game, but 0-0 in the bottom fifth inning is crazy. Willette with the best game of the season so far with his 8 strikeouts through 5 innings. He is lighting up these Husson hitters. And now it's Wallingford's chance to try and match that. Wallingford with only 3 strikeouts in the afternoon, but he's only given up 1 hit.
Yeah, back to Willette. He's got 4 strikeouts by looking. He's got 4 by swing, so he's mixing it up both ways. He's fooling guys at the plate, and he's getting guys to swing and miss as well.
Two. That one's chopped over to third. Not able to make the play is Tanner Evans. And Kablinski to lead things off for the Terriers. Gets that single.
Yeah, swing and bunt there from Kablinski. Put it in the exact right spot. It was going to be a tough play for Evans no matter what. If he tried to make the throw, did not make the throw.
And now it's Temby up to the plate, who had a single his last time up against Wallingford. Shows bunt. Pulls back. But it pounds the zone for strike number 1. And like we mentioned before, Jacob, situational hitting. Runner on first, no outs. Now's the time to use that bunt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also, like we've mentioned a couple times here, this has the feel of whoever scores first is going to win this one. Both pitchers have been dominating on the mound. It's really just trying to get that one across to begin with.
Oh
man.
That was the closest one yet to us. Bunted that one back, and it just went over our head.
Again, it was going to have to go through the window, but man,
so close.
We both got jumpy on that one.
My eyes lit up on that one.
I know.
One-two pitch from Wallingford. That one low, makes it ball 2. And that one's hit into left field, but Akira Warren doesn't even have to move. Sends that one right into his glove. And that's out number 1.
Yeah, positioned perfectly over there was Warren. That ball was just lined right to him. He didn't have to move, like you said. That's always the good ones, where you don't have to move.
I bet anytime you're playing in the outfield, don't really want to move. You just want those balls hit right to you. But it's also fun to rob a homer from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
The 1-0 from Wallingford. Swings and misses is Bartlett. And these Terriers jerseys, I gotta say, with the white caps, as Kablinski takes off running. That one's chopped foul. Curtis not able to make the grab. Brings the count to 1-2. But back to what I was saying, these Terriers jerseys with the white caps.
Oh, yeah.
So clean.
So clean. The whole set is great. They have the black ones with the red pinstripes. Those are fantastic. Just a nice solid set of uniforms. Eagles also have some really good ones as well.
Eagles wearing the green jerseys and green caps with gold numbers and gray pants. Wallingford's pitch. That one's chopped foul. And it's not often Kablinski, I noticed, wearing number 0. It's not often we see
Not often
all
we
players
see
wear that number.
I think the only ones that I can remember in recent memory were Brandon Phillips wore it with the Red Sox.
Yep.
Ottavino wore it with the Red Sox. Walker Buehler's wearing it with the Red Sox. It seems like all of them with the Red Sox.
I was just about to say, now Walker Buehler wearing number 0.
I think Ottavino wore it with the Yankees as well. Wore 0.
Check over to the second base umpire. He says Bartlett did not swing on that one. Walker Buehler, Dodgers legend.
Dodgers legend.
Postseason legend. Kablinski takes off running, but Bartlett sends that one back, and back goes Kablinski.
Seems like the Red Sox and the Dodgers switch players a lot.
I mean, they've been doing that since 2002.
Yeah, man. I
got to see Manny Ramirez play in person, but it wasn't for the Sox. It was for the Dodgers the season the Sox traded him.
It was also a crazy season for Manny.
It was unbelievable, that experience at Dodger Stadium. As soon as Manny Ramirez came up to the plate, the whole stadium was roaring as Kablinski takes off running. Swing and a miss. Is Bartlett. Throw to second, not in time. And Wallingford has his 4th strikeout in the afternoon. Now Kablinski is in scoring position, and up steps to the plate is Seymour.
Yeah, real good opportunity here for the Terriers. It's only the second time they've had a runner reach second. And only 4 times in the game total that a guy has reached in scoring position at second base. So both pitchers have limited the traffic really well.
Both pitchers controlling the tempo. Wallingford's in a rhythm. Willett is clearly in his groove. And that one swings on that, sends it over to right field. Under it to make the grab is Matt Holmes, and still no real threat from either side. And that ends the bottom 5 action. Now we're into the later innings. We're in the top 6 now. Still knotted up at Goose Egg.
3, 4,
it's
and
going
5.
to get real interesting now.
Real interesting, my friend.
And the Eagles due up are their 3, 4, 5 hitters, Jackson Curtis, Matt Holmes, and Hunter Curtis. We'll be right back. Welcome back for some top 6 action. It has been the Jared Willett game. 8 strikeouts, no hits allowed, no runs allowed. If you look up dominant in the Urban Dictionary, you'll see a picture of Jared Willett.
We need in the corner. We need a lid counter. There's another one that just fell off.
0-1 count to Curtis, and sure enough, Willette's lid
Ba-bing!
falls out.
Oh, man.
1-1 to Curtis. That one low makes it 2-1. And it's only a matter of time, Jacob, before one of these teams breaks through.
Yeah, someone's going to go bridge, and we're all going to party.
And Jackson Curtis looks at strike number 2. The 2-2. Curtis swings on that one, and that's a base hit. Leaks over to the left fielder, Haynes. Curtis stays over at first. And just like that, the Eagles have their leadoff man on base. Now it's Matt Holmes up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. 2 strikeouts.
First hit of the ball game for the Eagles. Comes in the 6th inning.
None other than Jackson Curtis getting that first hit. And Holmes bunts that one foul.
Got some action up in the Eagles bullpen, which I believe is Cameron. Yeah, it is Cam Rendell up there.
And there's action in the Terriers bullpen as well.
Do we have a number? No.
No numbers. They're wearing shirts over their unis.
Their BP tops are clean too.
It is. 0-2 to Matt Holmes. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Jared Willett, carving him up.
Third time that Matt Holmes has gone down swinging here. Well, that really just dominant again. I know we keep saying the same adjectives over and over again to describe this, but it's what you got to say.
And that one's in the ground. Curtis takes off for second. Throw not in time. And the Eagles finally have that runner in scoring position. Only the 5th time a guy has reached second in this ball game.
Jackson Curtis says, "I am speed."
Ka-chow.
Bang. Ka-chow.
Here's the 1-0.
Lightning struck.
Still no rain in this matchup. All glory to the baseball gods.
It's crazy that lightning strikes and there's no rain.
And that one's hit way up there. And under it to make the grab is Seymour out there in right field. That one had some hang time up there.
Yeah, I could picture the Sears Tower just going up over top of the Sears Tower.
It's called the Curtis Tower now.
Oh, man.
Now it's Tanner Evans, runner in scoring position. Couple walks today. Evans yesterday against Cobleskill was hit by the pitch 3 times, and he sends that one into the outfield. Rounding third is Jackson Curtis. Could this be it? Yes! The Eagles 1-0.
Great piece of baseball there from the Eagles. Tanner Evans rips that one into center field, tying up this, taking the lead here in this ball game. We've been tied for so long, I still thought we were tied.
Playoff Evans strikes again. It is 1-0 Husson. They are finally getting to Willette, and now up steps Ryan Remetta.
2-out baseball. Driving in a run here. 2 outs. Remetta is going to try and keep the inning going.
And Willette getting those calls on the outside zone. We've been seeing it all day.
It's been consistent.
Very consistent. As long as it's consistent,
Right.
it's fine. As Remetta chops that one over to second. Easy out there made by Bartlett. And that'll end the top of the 6th inning. But we finally have a breakthrough. Husson ends up with a run thanks to Tanner Evans. And we will be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network for some bottom 6 action. Welcome back for some bottom 6 action. It is the Eagles on top 1-0. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Willette. Jacob, we finally saw a breakthrough. It was Tanner Evans driving in Jackson Curtis on a 2-out single. And it just feels like that could be the deciding run with how this game has been going.
Yeah, and even though the Thomas is down 1-0, we can't forget how dominant Jared Willett has been. He's given up the 2 hits, and the 2 hits is what's driven in the run. But throughout, it's been very good for Willett.
And there's a meeting out there on the mound. And it looks like Wallingford has some shoulder tightness. He's pointing over to his throwing shoulder.
This is not what you want to see.
Absolutely not. And they're going to take out Matt Wallingford. He immediately puts his hands on his head. Oh,
You really feel
and
for
he
the guy.
is distraught over there walking back. They are taking him out due to injury to his shoulder. So we're going to have a pitching change, and that is critical for these Eagles. So Wallingford's final line, collecting 4 strikeouts, only 1 hit allowed, no walks drawn, no runs. He was pitching a gem up to that moment, and that is a big loss for these Eagles.
Absolutely. Tanner Audietis faces a tough scenario coming in middle of an at-bat, but you really feel for Matt Wallingford.
Absolutely. The senior could have just pitched for the final time for these Eagles.
But if it was a heck of a performance. He gave his team a chance to win heading into the dance tomorrow. And we'll look to see the bullpen try and shut it down the rest of the way here for the Eagles.
And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network while Tanner Audiatis warms up. Welcome back, everyone, to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. It is Tanner Audiatis out there on the mound while Wallingford deals with that injury. All the best to Matt Wallingford. Pitched an incredible game, shutting out these Terriers. So Audiatis will look to try and do the same.
Again, it's a situation that you don't want to see in tournament play, especially if the Eagles want to make a push. If they win the North Atlantic Conference.
And these Terriers couldn't get anything going against Wallingford, so facing that new pitcher, that might just give them life. As Dipner sends that one into left field, but under it to make the grab is Akira Warren. And to start things off in the bottom six, it's a fly out.
Yeah, I mean, Tanner Audiatis not an easy guy to hit off of either. We saw him yesterday against Cobleskill through an inning. We did not see him against. Sorry, that was Alan Wheaton we saw yesterday. But Tanner Audiatis on the season, opponents are hitting 260 off the righty. He's got a deceptive delivery. He's got the kind of short arm, side arm movement. He's got a good fastball. He's got a good slider. So he is a tough guy to face coming out of the pen. He's been one of the more dominant guys coming out of the pen.
And that's a swing and a miss for Morton. Audiatis so far showing some nasty stuff. 1-2, swing and a miss from Morton. Tanner Audiatis and his relief collects his first K of the day.
Yeah, just a filthy slider there from Audiatis. It's got a ton of movement on it. Got the swing and miss from Morton, who is a very good hitter.
And now he faces Meza, who's 1 of 2 on the day, had that single in the fourth. Here's a stare down. The windup, low for ball 2. And that one, pounding the zone for strike 1.
We do see Ben Phillips up in the Eagles bullpen, the lefty.
And Meza swings and misses, evens the count at 2. 2-2 count, 2 outs. Terrier still not threatening this Eagles defense. Husson has been pitching a gem so far. And Remetta keeps that one in front of him. What a day he's had at the plate.
Yeah, both at the plate and behind the plate. He's looked good on both sides of the ball.
And that one's grounded over to second. Marshall able to make the play. And we are heading to the top of the 7th inning where Husson will look to try and pad on to their lead. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back for some top 7 action. It is Colin Marshall up to the plate for these Eagles. 0 for 2 on the day, and Willette still in the game for the Terriers. 9 strikeouts on the day, but he did give up his first 2 hits last inning, including that game-breaking run. And Marshall sends that one deep into center. That's down for an extra base hit. Marshall rounding first, and that is a ground rule double. And Marshall is fired up over there at second. Do your dance.
What a swing there from Colin Marshall. If that wall was just a foot taller, it would have hit the top of the wall, and we would have seen Marshall running for days. But that one hops over the wall there. That's a shot out there in right center, too. That's no cheap shot over there.
Perfectly placed double out there in the gap. Unfortunate. Hopped over the fence for the ground rule double. And Husson has figured out Willette. There's a meeting on the mound, some action out there in the bullpen for the Terriers. Keegan Sear is up to the plate for these Eagles coming up. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. However, he does have that runner in scoring position. They will keep Willette in the game. He has given up his 3rd hit. And this is the best chance the Eagles have had all game. Runner on second, no outs. This is a chance to break the bank.
Yeah, another insurance run. It's going to be very much needed here for the Eagles.
Sear shows bunt, pulls it back. Temby thought about throwing over to second, but no one was covering. Shows bunt again. And he takes strike 1, not able to make contact. Shows bunt again, pulls back.
Willette closing in on his season high in innings pitched. He threw 6 2/3 back on the 15th of March.
And he places that one right over to Willette, and that is an easy out. not able to advance. Colin Marshall. Kira Warren up to the plate. 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Marshall with a sizable lead over there at second. Warren looks at strike one. Warren tips that one back. And he's behind 0-2 now.
Big situation here. Top of the Eagles order due up. You only have the 1-run advantage. You really want to try and get that extra insurance run with the runner on second.
Good eye there from Warren.
Justin Kahn, a freshman from Atlanta, in the Terrier bullpen. Thanks to our stat masters and Caden Trenowith down on the field.
Thank you, Caden. Wherever he is. The 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2.
Big pitch here for Willett.
And Warren chops that one down the third base line. Great patience from Warren, able to fight that one off and stay alive.
Willett over 110 pitches.
That one way outside, makes the count full. Willett, 9 strikeouts, 4 walks, 3 hits, and 1 earned run.
Takes a step off the mound. Takes a breath, cool, calm, collected is Willett out there with a runner on second.
Payoff pitch. Warren sends that one out of the stadium. Staying alive. Willett creeping up on 115 pitches. Marshall with a sizable lead at second. And that is double-digit strikeouts for Willett. Caught Warren looking. Man, what a game from Willett.
Ties the season high in innings pitched with 6 2/3. Ties the season high in strikeouts with 10. Ties a career high in strikeouts with 10. All on that one pitch, sitting at 122 pitches. He's digging deep. He knows the championship game is on the line, a trip to the dance. He's given everything he has here.
Now he faces Cam Rendell. Over 120 pitches, and it looks like he could throw 120 more. And that one runs inside, ball 2.
Good stab there from Tembe behind the plate to save the runner from moving up another base.
Now it's a 3-0 count. And I believe this is the first 3-0 count that Willett has faced.
Yeah, you are correct, my friend.
Took him until the 7th inning. That's how amazing he has played today. Now it's a 3-1 count, trying to fight his way back in it. It is a hitter's count for Cameron Dell.
There's always the saying that there's pitchers and there's throwers. Willett has pitched today. He has been phenomenal.
Now it's a full count. And it just feels like, yeah, he was down 3-0 in the count. Now he's fought his way back to 3-2. And there's a sense that this could be another punch out for him.
Creeping up to 130 pitches.
And Cameron Dell sends that one up the middle. Rounding second is Colin Marshall. Eagles are up 2-0.
Big time insurance run there for the Eagles. Cameron Dell wants to go to the dance.
And that'll end Jared Willett's day out there on the mound. The insurance run there for the Eagles.
You do have to tip your cap to Jared Willett. What a fantastic performance from the righty. 6 2/3. 6 2/3. He had 2 runs allowed, 4 hits, 4 walks, 10 strikeouts. All on the back of 128 pitches. He looked phenomenal here this afternoon. He had 5 strikeouts looking out of the 10. Tied a career high, a season high in innings pitched. Tied a career high in strikeouts. Tied a season high in strikeouts. He looked very good. And now we will see the freshman righty Justin Kahn, who we saw yesterday against Leslie. Pitched 3 innings, gave up 2 hits, struck out 2, picked up the save in that contest between the Terriers and the Lynx.
And yes, he is a freshman, but he plays like a veteran out there on the mound. You'd think he's been here for 4 years. And how about Jared Willett? 10 Ks, only 2 runs allowed, and it is unfortunate that his offense wasn't able to back up his stellar performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
He is the reason why the Terriers have been able to be in this game. But now Husson has able to put up that insurance run. It is 2-0 in the top 7th. And it's Jackson Curtis up to the plate. Curtis, 1 of 2 on the day, had the single in the 6th and then was driven home by Tanner Evans just 3 batters later.
This is a very tough scenario for Justin Kahn coming in, facing Jackson Curtis, one of the biggest power hitters in the entire region. Not just the conference, not just the state, the entire region.
Honestly, not even the entire region, all of D3.
All of D3. That's a very good point.
Jackson Curtis has the career record here at Husson in doubles with 50. Career record at Husson here in RBIs with 169. Career record in home runs with over 20. But he sends that one to second, and Bartlett will just toss that over to Morton for the final out. And just like that, we are heading to some bottom 7th action. The Terriers are down to their final 9 outs, but they are still in this game, just down 2. They're not in desperation mode just yet, but it is getting close. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Is this the Winkin Sports Complex or Fenway Park? Sweet Caroline playing during the 7th inning stretch. And we are back for some more action. And up to the plate is Cam Haynes. Haynes has grounded over to Jackson Curtis not once but twice here today.
4, 5, and 6 due up for the Terriers. Starting to get into do-or-die territory here. Both of these teams won yesterday, so they still have an extra loss to play with.
And Haynes is down 0-2. That ball in the dirt for ball 1. Sends that one foul. Staying alive in this matchup against Audiatis. And how about these Husson pitchers, Matt Wallingford and Tanner Audiatis?
Yeah,
no runs allowed.
Absolutely fantastic. They've been mixing up pitches well. They've been mixing locations. And they're getting some swings and misses, which is always a key to success.
Two-two pitch. That one swung on, but that is fouled. Haynes doing a great job staying alive in his appearance against Audiatis. And the Husson fans are vocal on that call. Doesn't matter, though. It is a full count for Audiatis and Haynes. And that is ball number 4. Haynes takes first to lead things off for the Terriers in the bottom 7th.
Fans did not like the call on that one.
Now it's Cagnina Jr. up to the plate, 0 for 2 in the afternoon. And getting that leadoff man on is critical in this moment for the Terriers. That pitch outside, ball 1.
Cagnina, not someone you want to make a mistake pitch to.
And there's a meeting out there on the mound. And yeah, the Terriers are down 2 runs, Jacob, but it can flip like a switch.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the guy in the lineup that you want to do it. Cagnina, one of the better hitters in the conference, as we've mentioned a few times today. He's hitting .345 on the season, has 2 homers, 27 RBIs. A former all-conference member. He was intentionally walked yesterday.
And that one's down the middle, strike 1. And mind you, when these two teams have faced off this season, the Terriers won 3 out of 4 games, so they are definitely not out of this matchup. As Cagnina Jr. looks at strike 2. That one evens the count. And he sends that one deep into or shallow left field, and under it to make the grab is Keegan Sear. Now it's Kablinski up to the plate. One of 3 hitters in this Thomas lineup to collect a hit. The only hits so far are from Tembe, Meza, and Kablinski. And Kablinski tips that one foul.
Yeah, going back to the last time these two faced off, it was a home and home set, and the Terriers won 7-4 in extra innings in game 1, 4-3 in game 2, 8-4 in game 3. And then the Eagles putting on an offensive outburst, winning 22-8.
And that one's a base hit into right field. Kablinski collects his 2nd hit of the day, and that'll advance Haynes over to 2nd. So now the Terriers have runners on 1st and 2nd with only 1 out, sparking a little bit of energy now. And that dugout is starting to get a little bit more vocal.
Again, like you mentioned, Xander, they're not out of this whatsoever. Got 2 runners on now.
And at the plate is Tembe, the other hitter for the Terriers with a hit. His coming in the 3rd inning. And he sends that one into left center. And under it to make the grab is Hunter Curtis. That one not able to advance any runners. And up comes Bartlett, 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts. And these Terriers now with 2 outs here in the bottom 7. This is their best chance to try and even things up. And it will be a missed opportunity if they fail to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially you got 2 runners on here. Get some good hitters here at the plate.
And Remetta keeps that one in front of him. Great job there behind the plate. Not able to advance Haynes out there on 2nd. And that one's over the third baseman, base hit, and that'll load up the bases. These Terriers down but not out.
The fight from the Terriers is really strong here as Coach Morris is going to head to the pen. But bases loaded, we mentioned it again, down but not out. We'll see most likely Ben Phillips coming in here to try and get out of this bases loaded jam.
This is huge for both teams. This is a big out for these Eagles, trying to keep the score at 0 for these Terriers. And these Terriers, one swing of the bat into the outfield, they could end up tying this game or even putting them in the lead. And we'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network while Phillips warms up. Welcome back for the most important at bat in this afternoon. We have a bases loaded situation for Matt Seymour facing a new arm from the Eagles, Ben Phillips. Phillips finds the zone for strike number one. And here's how we got here. Walk to Haynes, fly out from Cagnina Jr., single from Kablinski, fly out from Tembe, single from Bartlett. Down the middle, strike two.
Phillips, a 6'4" junior from Ontario, Canada.
The 0-2 pitch. That one's grounded out to short. Keegan Sear throws over to first. That throws in time! The Eagles escape the bases loaded situation, and the Thomas Terriers fail to capitalize.
What a fantastic play from Keegan Sear. Makes a strong throw over to first. Bang, bang. And they get out of the bases loaded jam.
And that is one situation these Thomas Terriers will reflect on today. Unbelievable. They are going to have nightmares about that situation. That was the best situation they've been in all day. Bases loaded. They could have tied up the game. Even better, they could have taken the lead. And they strand all three runners. We'll be right back for the top eighth inning. After an incredible turn of events, able to escape the bases loaded jam, Matt Holmes now steps up to the plate, and this is shocking. 3 plate appearances, 3 strikeouts from Holmes.
Yeah, he's going to face a new arm, too, so he's got the better. He's not facing Jared Willett, who had his number the entire game. Look to avoid the golden sombrero.
And he sends that one into left. And under it to make the grab is Haynes. So no strikeout for Matt Holmes this time, but he's still without a hit. And now Hunter Curtis, who is also without a hit and has a couple strikeouts himself, steps up to the plate.
Kahn firing in a strike with that low 3/4 delivery.
And Hunter sends that one as high as the Curtis Tower again. And under it to make the grab is the second baseman. Bartlett with a tremendous grab, able to go over there, track that ball down. Now it's Tanner Evans up to the plate, 1 of 1 on the day, able to break the tie in the 6th inning. He also has a couple walks in the afternoon. And he sends that one on the ground over to third. Meza to first. And that'll end the top 8th inning. quick 3 outs for these Terriers, just what they needed. And now we head to bottom 8th action, where it's, guess what, top of the Terriers lineup. What might be the last time we see the top lineup for the Terriers? I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, where the Terriers are down to their final 6 outs. It is Dipner up to the plate. Ben Phillips on the mound. Phillips, last inning, able to escape the bases loaded jam for arguably the most important out so far.
Ben Phillips looking to continue off from the last frame.
And Dipner now ahead 2-0.
Dipner 0 for 3 on the day.
And we have some of the Leslie players starting to make their way to the stands. Remember, it's not do or die if you lose this game. Obviously, a lot on the line. Winner advances to the championship game. The loser gets to play Leslie later today for a second chance at a trip to the championship game. 2-2 count from Phillips. And that one's grounded over to Keegan Sear. Sear fires it over to first, and there's that first out.
So smooth over there is Keegan Sear. It's like watching just professional out there. Nice, silky, smooth, makes a strong toss over to first.
And that's back-to-back. Balls hit over to Sear. The bases loaded. Was grounded over to Sear. Throw was in time, and now that one. Flashing the leather and the arm talent over there at shortstop. Now it's Morton up to the plate. Morton is over 3 on the day, couple Ks himself. There's strike 1 from Phillips. Terriers down to their final 5 outs. Shows bunt perfectly placed, and they can't get a throw off. Wow, Morton with an incredible bunt down the third base line, and he is in there at first.
Yeah, absolutely. He saw the opportunity, took full advantage of it, and now they got some real speed over at first base.
And this is the time to be aggressive on the base paths. If you're Thomas, you're down 2 runs, you're down to your final 5 outs. And this is also the time where don't necessarily need to be aggressive swinging, but you gotta drive in some runs.
Yeah, you at least want to get 1 here in this top frame. This bottom half of the 8th. You get 1, you're only down 1 heading into the 9th, your last ups.
And Meza sends that one into right. And Holmes there to make the grab. Terriers now down to 4 outs.
Cam Haynes looking to try and get something going. Haynes 0 for 2. He was stranded at third in the bottom half of the 7th.
Phillips checks over to first, trying to tag out Morton. The pitch. Finds the zone for strike number 1. And how about Ben Phillips and his relief?
Yeah, he's looked absolutely phenomenal. All the pitchers for the Eagles and all the pitchers for the Terriers, everybody's looked phenomenal up on that bump.
Remeda keeps that one in front. And Haynes sends that one over to right. And the Terriers are now down to their final 3 outs. The Husson Eagles doing it all out there on the mound. And we are here for some top 9 action. It's Remeda, Marshall, and Keegan Sear. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Welcome back, everyone, for some top 9 action. Ryan Remeda due up at the plate, 0 for 3 on the day. And Remeda sends that one into the outfield under the glove of Morton. And Remeda is heading to, and he is in there sliding safely. And look at that. Leadoff hitter now on second. And the Eagles have a chance to add on to their lead and put this game away. It is Colin Marshall up to the plate. Marshall in the 7th inning had that leadoff double and later scored from Cameron Dell.
Yeah, it was a frozen rope there from Ryan Remeda. Snuck past the shortstop Morton.
Oh, and a bad bunt attempt. Pops that one up. And Temby there to make the grab. And now Keegan Sear up to the plate. Sear also 0 for 3 on the day. There's a chance make it 1 of 4 and add in a run. Tempe checks over at second, doesn't throw it. And these Leslie hitters over here to our right, eagerly waiting to see who they will face later today. 1-1 count now to Keegan Sear.
We do have double barrel action over there in the Terrier bullpen. Again, thanks to our wonderful statistician, Caden Trenowith.
Oh, I see him now. Caden Trenowith, our photos guy.
Stat Masterson.
Taking photos right now, and I bet those are going to come out incredible as always. And this one's blooped up for the second out. Kahn able to make that grab.
Swiss Army knife for the sports information program.
Now it's Akira Warren up to the plate. Outside the zone, ball 1. Warren 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Not what you expect out of your leadoff hitter, but that's just goes to show how dominant these Thomas Terriers pitchers are on the mound today in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool, calm, and collected.
Two 2-0 pitch from Kahn. Makes it 2-1. Kahn this season with a 5.34 ERA in 14 appearances. Has 28 strikeouts through 30.1 innings. And that one sent into left. Backtracking. Not able to make the grab. Another error in left field by Haynes. And it is 3-0 Eagles. And that could wrap it up. Another error out there in left field by Haynes. He started off with 2 great grabs in the first and in the second inning, and then had that error out there and left in the third, and now this one in the top 9th. But this one,
that's
the
one
biggest of them all, with that one leading to a run.
That's one where you just gotta get to the spot. You can't backpedal out there in left field. Out there, it's probably the loneliest place in the world out there, out in left field.
And he's hanging his head down low. He cannot believe he just made that second mistake. Now it's Cam Rendell up to the plate with Akira Warren on second. Rendell in the 7th had that RBI single that drove in Colin Marshall. Faces a 1-1 count here. And Rendell sends that over, and that is a base hit. Akira Warren is in to score. Break the bank, Husson. 4-0.
Yeah, great swing there from Cam Rendell, just out past the outstretched glove of the second baseman, Bartlett, out there. And just a great swing there. And now Jackson Curtis steps in, trying to run this one open.
That was a great effort over there by Bartlett, just not in time to try and make that grab, and Curtis sends that one over to Bartlett. Bartlett tosses over to Morton, and that's the final out for Husson. And now we are heading to the bottom 9th inning, where Husson is 3 outs away from advancing to their 6th consecutive North Atlantic Conference championship. don't go anywhere, folks. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette, where Husson is 3 outs away from advancing to the championship game. Ben Phillips still on the mound. He faces Cagnina Jr.
Eagles 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors heading into this frame. Terriers no runs on 6 hits with 3 errors.
And that one is grounded over to third. Will he make the play? Yes, out number 1. Tanner Evans able to make the grab and fired it over to first for the out.
Eagles 2 outs away from advancing to the dance.
And now it's Kablinski up to the plate. He is 2 of 3 on the day. He has been important for this Thomas lineup. However, Thomas not able to back up their incredible pitching. And that'll be the story after the game. Bigger story is that bases loaded situation where they couldn't get any runs across. And then obviously 2 errors in left field.
Also has started the 5th inning with a runner on second and then went 3 straight outs afterwards. Had a runner on second in the 4th. So the Terriers had their opportunities.
The 1-2 from Phillips. Just outside, ball 2.
Remetta thought he hit that.
And that one's grounded over to Phillips. And he tosses it over to first. Out number 2 for the Eagles. And make that 1 out away. Pitchers are fielders too.
How's your boy?
Out comes Aaron Young, his father yesterday, jumping up and down cheerfully, saying, "We're not in the loser's bracket. We're not in the loser's bracket."
The left-on-left matchup here.
So Aaron Young replaces Temby.
Former North Atlantic Conference Rookie of the Year back in 2021, the graduate student, 343 average on the season.
First pitch down the middle, strike 1. And that one just below the zone. Ball number 1. Count now 1-1 for Young. And that one finds the middle of the zone. Count is now 1-2.
Young ended the regular season with a .969 OPS.
And here's the pitch. And that is just outside the zone. Boy, that was awfully close. 2-2 count with 2 outs now. That was inches away. Here's the pitch. Shut him up and shut him down. Was there ever any doubt? The Husson Eagles have advanced for the 6th consecutive time to the North Atlantic Conference Championship. 4-0 your final score.
Absolutely fantastic pitching performance. Started with Matt Wallingford, came in with Tanner Audietis, and then Ben Phillips, the big Canadian lefty, shuts down the door. And the Eagles will play this weekend, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's Sunday. The rain's really going to decide that one. But whoever comes out on top in this one has got a tough task to face come the championship game.
An incredible season from these Husson Eagles. They get one more chance to be crowned North Atlantic Conference champions. And Thomas, while they lost, they still play later today against Leslie for a second chance to go to the championship game. I'm Xander Cook, joined alongside Jacob Ouellette. Thank you guys for joining us. And there will be another game played.